Maybe Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau are still grumpy because they're spending their twilight years in Minnesota. Grumpier Old Men, next.
You burp and guys think it's adorable. You puke and they line up to hold your hair back.
Two girls, one guy. The course of true love can be pretty weird.
Can I see your face before I go?
No! Tonight's been so perfect. Let's wait for another night to screw it up.
Uma Thurman, Janine Garofalo.
I don't know what I'm doing.
The truth about cats and dogs. Another Friday premiere, April 4th, only on Cinemax.
Cinemax invites you to see a revolutionary new film. First, before it hits the theaters, Keanu Reeves stars in a film about a generation of writers and wanderers who influenced Generation X. The Last Time I Committed Suicide, based on correspondence between Neil Cassidy and Jack Kerouac. See it here before it goes anywhere else. Another Friday premiere, April 11th, only on Cinemax.
Wouldn't it be great to know how much you'll like a movie before you see it? Well, guess what? You can with Max on the Net. That's where you'll find Movie Matchmaker, a program that can predict which movies you'll like best. Here's how it works. Matchmaker asks you to rate a bunch of movies from loved it to pure crapola. Then, it compares what you liked with thousands of other people. Based on what people like you liked, Matchmaker can recommend the movies you'll probably like best. In theaters, available on home video, or on Max. The whole thing only takes a couple of minutes. You don't have to download anything, and it's all free. Movie Matchmaker at Max on the Net. www.cinemax.com.
Get ready for another wild ride. Director David Lynch. The man who created Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart is back with his latest film, Lost Highway, starring Bill Pullman, Patricia Arquette, Robert Loggia, and Balthazar Getty. In typical Lynch style, the film is an eerie mix of fantasy and reality, but on this highway, even the actors sometimes need a map.
Is it, David, am I one person or two people? Am I a ghost now, or am I a fantasy? Am I his nightmare?
He doesn't pull any punches. You know, he doesn't make it easier for us.
Exploring the mysterious nature of identity, the film uses situations you can't explain and characters you least expect, like Beretta's Robert Blake.
Where was it you think we met?
At your house, don't you remember? I'm there right now. Call me.
I told you I was here.
It's probably as shocking as Cubist painting was to representative painting.
When you stand in front of a painting and many things start happening. And strangely, you know, every time a new viewer comes up, the interaction is a little bit different.
The actors also have their own take when it comes to understanding what drives their characters.
It's about love and how far you'll go to obtain it.
She's a little bit dangerous to love, and he's obsessive.
This guy who has all that inside him. He has the good and the bad, and he's wrestling with it.
This magic moment.
The fear of jealousy can be so alive in your mind that you hear every nuance of the sound your lover can make with somebody else.
Sometimes once it starts, you can't stop it. You don't believe how many different levels that you can be betrayed on.
They just self-destruct repeatedly.
Lost Highway is a daring look at the darker side of life and love. And once again, David Lynch is pushing his actors and audience to abandon logic and just enjoy the trip.
You're constantly kind of moving across terrain that you think you know, and then all of a sudden it's changed.
I would lay down on the ground and just start crying a lot of times because it's so different than me. It haunts you for a long time. You will not come out of it feeling giddy, I'll tell you that.
Good deal. Cut. Yep. We're there, man.
In theaters now.
Maybe Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau are still grumpy because they're spending their twilight years in Minnesota. Grumpier Old Men, next.
Just in time for tax season. The story of a typical American family with a nice house, property, neighbors, until they refuse to pay federal income tax.
We have no intention of leaving our home voluntarily.
For 12 years.
It's America. You have to pay your taxes.
What happens next may make you want to file early. An Act of Conscience, narrated by Martin Sheen. A Cinemax Real Life. Tuesday, April 15th on Cinemax. Watch it with your accountant.
Where can you find a movie with TV crime fighters like Peter Graves before Mr. Phelps made the missions impossible? It's Not for Rent.
He's in the wagon now, drunk as a skunk.
Or William Conrad before Cannon became a big private eye. It's Not for Sale.
What about him?
Or Telly Savalas before Kojak made hair optional. It's not on home video.
I didn't mean anything honest, baby. I love you.
Classic moments from a collection of movies you won't find in any video store. You can't rent them. You can't buy them. But we got them. Every week, all year long. Not on home video. Saturday mornings at 10. Cinemax.
Okay, time to check the Max movie meter for March. And here's the big number, 195. That's 195 movies in March alone. Where else but Cinemax, the network with the most movies on pay TV.
It's Wednesday Night Horror on Cinemax. At 8, you know after a while you just have to admire the guy's persistence. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Then at 9:30, Darkman is back, endlessly searching for some action and a dermatologist. Darkman 3, Die, Darkman, Die. And at 11, Wednesday Vanguard presents the wartime drama that won the Oscar for Best Foreign Film, black and white in color. You're watching Cinemax, the best network for movies on TV.
The following movie is rated PG-13.
Lightning only needs to strike once in this electrifying sequel before creepy Jason is jolted back to knife-wielding life. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, next.
No one knows where he came from.
Korean?
Possibly.
We come from France?
Fine, sir. We're Americans! But Dan Aykroyd has that signature style all his own.
Some chewing gum?
And a sense of adventure.
In such a situation, you have no time to think. Instinct takes over. It's either kill or be killed.
Some say he's a lunatic.
Nonsense.
Others say he's
A splendid man.
But we all know what he really is.
I am that bad man.
Brace yourself for 5 paralyzing films, all starring Beldar Conehead.
What?
I mean, Dan Aykroyd.
Correct.
It's a Day of Madness. Sunday, March 30th, starting at 3 p.m. only on Cinemax.
Sunday.
Just in time for tax season. The story of a typical American family with a nice house, property, neighbors, until they refuse to pay federal income tax.
We have no intention of leaving our home voluntarily.
For 12 years.
It's America. You have to pay your taxes.
What happens next may make you want to file early. An Act of Conscience, narrated by Martin Sheen. A Cinemax Real Life. Tuesday, April 15th on Cinemax. Watch it with your accountant. Wouldn't it be great to know how much you'll like a movie before you see it? Well, guess what? You can with Max on the Net. That's where you'll find Movie Matchmaker, a program that can predict which movies you'll like best. Here's how it works. Matchmaker asks you to rate a bunch of movies from loved it to pure crapola. Then, it compares what you liked with thousands of